Hey, good morning, everyone. David, El Viajero Coffee, Morning Muster. And I wanted to make a short video today about, I was listening to the Psychology of Success by Brian Tracy this morning. And he talked about responsibility. And he's talking about the mentality that you have about focusing and all that kind of stuff. But he touched on a subject that I think is really important, and it's responsibility, right? He says how we you can either be complain or play a victim, or be think that everything's happening to you and you have no control over it, or you can take responsibility. Things happen to all of us, right? But it is a different mentality when you take responsibility, right? When you think that um, something happens to you, but you take responsibility for the situation and you figure out a way to solve it, at work, in your personal life. At work, he says responsibility is you come into your job and you own your job. He talks about in his book, in that specific chapter, he talks about being self-employed, and he says he asks a group of people, "What are you self-employed?" And they don't understand. But then he asks again, "Are you self-employed?" Meaning, do you work for yourself, right? And what he means by that is you don't work 8 hours to get a paycheck, that you do whatever you do in your job, whatever you do in your profession, it reflects you as a person, right? You own it. And it's very important. I remember when I first joined the Army and I went to my first duty station, I spent hours in the office, trying to learn my job, trying to learn. I went to basic training AIT, and I got to my first duty station, and it was the time that I invested, the first year, 2 years that I invested, because I wanted to do the best job that I could. I didn't want to go back home either. I didn't want to get sent back home either. But you know, it's important, because if you're self-employed, because I don't work for someone, I work for me, even though I'm not the owner of the company or whatever, but I work for myself, meaning that what I do reflects me, and I take pride in me. And I was able to have a very successful military career. I was blessed to have a lot of people in front of me that helped me, and nothing go you don't get through life without help. But um, it's in large part because you put yourself in that situation. He talks about responsibility again, taking responsibility for your actions. Don't complain if there's a problem, and you either fix it or you accept it. Because if you complain about it and don't do anything about it, then you're basically accepting it. So then why even say mention it, right? And we're human. It's tough, but at the end of the day, do you take responsibility? Do you do more than what is expected of you? Because you get compensated based on how much you put in, right? How much you put into your life, how much you do with your life. You get compensated for that. Ultimately, right? If you go out in the field and you plant many, many, many seeds, your many of the of many, many seeds, they will grow. Some won't, but many, many seeds will grow, and they will give for fruit. But if you only plant a few seeds, right? So I would say check it out. It's The Psychology of Success, and it's a really good book. It's about mentality and focus, right? Focus is like, think about your car. You have a car. If you have a car, whatever it is, we have a Honda CRV. It's a like a metallic blue, and every time we drive, we see all the metallic blue Honda CRVs, right? We see them all, because you're focused. So focusing on your objective, on your goals, and responsibility. That's it for today. Quick rant, morning muster. Thanks. Enjoy.